Holy Batman, something's wrong with the Chevy Cruze Turbo, and we're gonna figure out and find out what is going on. Stay tuned. Well, the car is having some issues with blow-by and just kind of excessive oil loss through the oil catch can. My air filter is completely soaked with oil. There's oil sitting down here. The blow-off valve was shooting out oil. The entire intake is coated with oil. I'm going to have to remove the charge pipe, basically take everything off. I've got a gasket leak which I'm going to fix. I'm gonna have to pull the cover as well because I need to put a baffle here. I suspect that the camshaft is just churning up a lot of oil, and the way I had it set up, it was sucking that oil through and just into the charge pipe. I had no smoke coming out, so I know it's not an oil drainage issue. And it probably wasn't a very smart idea putting it here. It might have been fine, but my map sensor it needs cleaning. So does the map. The car is running like doo-doo. It's losing boost. The number 3 and 4 plug, they're just fouled with oil. I think I got the wrong plugs anyways. I'm going to get some plugs for a 1.4 turbo. I did get a set that was colder, but the gap was like 45. I need to get something with a smaller gap, even though I did gap them down to about 25. It seemed to like it there, but still, I'm just gonna replace the plugs, put some new ones in, clean everything up. I may or may not take the intake off. We shall see. And I also need to get this exhaust leak situated because, as you guys saw, the manifold, when I welded it up, it warped some, and I'm having problems in that area. So I'm going to use what I probably should have done is a gasket in combination with some of that copper sealer, and we'll see how that works. You can see this thing is just completely soaked in oil, and this oil just puddled up there. So I've got this K&N air filter, so a little bit shorter of a filter, and I'm just going to try and run everything down in there so it's not sticking up, and I think it'll look better too. So oily, just everything's coated. It just kind of seems to collect where these couplers are at, so I'm just going to spray this one clean and move on to the next section. This thing has so much oil in it. Hey look, a bee! I could come up with for now, because I have no idea how I would attach a baffle to this thing, aside from using some pop rivets, and I don't know, something about the pop rivets here on the valve cover, just something. I probably just need to get a new cover and plastic weld something in here, but I don't really have anything to kind of construct anything. This is in there nice and tight. Got that thing tightened down pretty well. It's rubber. All this is sitting lower than that, so it shouldn't be an issue. Should be enough clearance here to get the job done. Let's see if that helps. I sprayed a little throttle body and intake cleaner into the throttle body, a good amount. Took the plugs out, turned it over, put a paper towel over it. Nothing's really coming up, so I'm thinking the buildup is minimal. There was a little bit of, just a touch of oil on the map sensor, but I'm not sure that necessarily made it go bad. Cleaned it up with a little bit of mass airflow sensor cleaner. Hopefully that'll help it. If not, I'm going to AutoZone and getting a replacement. See if that helps. Well, I got it all cleaned up, all back together. I did try to squeeze this down there. There's just not enough space. And I decided just to put a breather here. I'd rather I have oil just coming here rather than going through my whole system if this does not work. Intercooler's all hooked back up. I need to get some more spark plugs. I'm pretty sure these are fouled. We'll see how the map sensor does. Alright, everything's together. Let's fire up, see what she does. And I'm going to take a spin to AutoZone to get spark plugs. And I don't know, might have to replace the map sensor. We shall see. Ooh-wee. Did I not hook the map sensor up? Oh, I did. Holy shit. Let's take it for a spin and I'll show you what it's doing. Aside from one of my tires being low, cold start.
At Target, your health and safety is...
And it dies. I mean, it's giving me a map sensor error, but I know it's not the map sensor because it's a new map sensor. I just went back to AutoZone, replaced it. I'm gonna try and take this thing around, and I really have to kind of feather the gas pedal just to keep things going. And my AFR gauge is just jumping all over the place. Let's see if we can get this thing out of the parking lot. And it smokes like crazy. It kicks on, but man. I can just make it back over to the shop because, man, I gotta pull the head. I gotta. This is some fun stuff. I can't even go past. I'm topping out at 45, but I'm still making boost. I'm making some boost. Well, after that little drive, I can tell you something is majorly up. I'm getting a crap ton of oil blow by. There's hardly any oil left in this engine. And it's time for me to start tearing it down. Let me show you what we're looking at here. I just want to say that as this video moves further along, I did kind of figure out what was really going on, but it was after the fact, after I've already run the turbo hot, things were starting to fall apart, which I'll explain in the next video a little further. Essentially, I was approaching the car, the boosted car, like it's naturally aspirated when it came to my PCV system. So I'm being y'all's guinea pig here. I'm being y'all's guinea pig. And I'm going to dive into what I think would be a solution, and probably should have put a little more research into PCV system. And it sucks that it got to this point where I really wanted to put it on the dyno as is. And it's something that any of you guys can do to your 1.8 without running into the issues that I had. The car was running fine until I started getting all this oil in the system. But we're at where we're at, so let's move on. Just keep an eye out for the next video. I love our little top. All right, let's move on. The turbo has obviously gotten pretty hot. I mean, this thing is, I don't know. We'll see if the turbo's still good. My valve cover's melted. I've just about set this liner on fire. The oil catch can, I don't know if I have this thing set up properly or what, but there's just oil all over the place again. So now I just need to tear this thing apart, take the head off, see what the damage is. Chances are I'm just going to completely rebuilding this from the looks of it, and hopefully the engine didn't get too hot. So I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna take this stuff apart. That's gonna be it for this video. I'm just gonna take it apart and then I'll update you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, my name's Matt. Be sure to hit your bell notifications, that way you follow me along in this process of me figuring out what the heck went on, how I can fix this, So that way we can get it back to being boosted and possibly even push it even further without any issues. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out with your peace out.